So this week, it's about biofumigants and winter sowing and some other little jobs. Join me. Well, I never knew that I needed something called a biofumigant, but I do. This whole bed is full of root knot nematodes, and those nematodes destroyed my carrot crop in this bed. I'll insert a picture here. So you grow something like the Caliente mustard that I'm going to grow. You chop it, drop it, and dig it in, and it will help in a natural way to get rid of these nematodes rather than resorting to a chemical solution. Okay, I think this ground with these few days of warm up, yeah, okay, I can get this out. We are not frozen any longer, at least not the first few top inches. I'm going to get this baby out of here so that we can work. Down here are 12 of these little greenhouses that I made out of milk jugs, actually. They'll act as little mini greenhouses because I am quite anxious to get this crop going and doing its job. And if I'm a little too early, I'll have enough seed to do it again. I don't think I need to put any fertilizer in the soil because in the fall, before we spread the leaf mold compost, we put alfalfa pellets, which have had a chance to break down now over the winter and should be enough to feed this crop. As you do, you kind of develop a plan as you go along, right? And so I have 12 of these jugs, and I'd need 2 staples each that I brought out. And so my big staples will go pretty fast. And I've got a bunch of staples right there already over holding down that netting for that garlic. And this is holding down the chicken wire netting over here. So I've got other bulbs in the yard that are using the staples, so they'll go quick. In other words, I needed another solution, and we think we'll use the little poles that hold up the chicken wire fencing against the bunnies down the center of these jugs. Al's gone to get them. So as Al is getting those stakes put in, and that's gonna work out pretty great, I think. That's the hope anyway. And it'll free up using 2 staples each for those 12 containers. And I am sprinkling seed all over that bed. Next step, very important, get those eye protectors put on the top of the poles for safety's sake. Well, there you have it. I have my Caliente Mustard Biofumigant sown in this bed, and I think it's going to work out really good. And there is enough if I need to do it again or in other places. There's plenty of seed. Next job on the list is to trim my alliums. I give them a haircut a couple of times at the seedling stage before they go out. Not an advocate of this for everyone. It's what you want to do, but I find that I have stronger roots by doing it. After this, I topped it off with a new layer of vermiculite, and I fertilized with Chilean nitrate, a weak solution. That's an OMRI certified product. The last time I fertilized, I used that biocharger, a new product to me. And thankfully, my alliums seem to be very happy at this point. I am going to get ready for winter sowing, and most of my winter sowing is going to be directly in my raised beds near where I want them to be, so that it is much easier than doing it in the jugs and then transporting it. I learned that last year and I'm pretty excited about it. Saved a lot of milk jugs over the winter, and this worked out really good to string them up and hang them up high in the garage where they were out of the way. But now I need to prepare those. Unfortunately, we had a well go out up north in Door County, so we had to buy a lot of bottled water. But I didn't feel as guilty when I figured out I was actually buying little greenhouses. So that's great. I also have a tote. Let me show you that. All right, I went on a little further search and found all of these mostly leafy green things that we had saved. Found another jug, and there's 3 more, but right now they're holding plant water for the garage plants, so I won't make them into greenhouses yet. This is a tote that I drilled keyhole holes in the top, and my idea is that inside of here I can either put little 6-packs or those kind of winter sowing jugs and kind of have like a double greenhouse effect. But I don't know what I'm going to do. But right now I'm going to get the rest of these all accomplished. To do that, you need a box cutter. That's what works the best. And for me, the hole punch, because I put those holes in there to put the landscape staples to hold them down into the earth. All right, I got some work to do. I am going to use my wood burning tool, and I'm going to put some drainage holes in this little container. I'm going to put 5 in the top and 5 in the bottom. Works great. So I'm going to go in with something a little bit bigger. Well, I took those cloche type greenhouses that I made by cutting out the bottoms and poking holes in them, else getting them fastened down with the landscaping staples. Those are some lettuce and arugula. This is the last 15 garlic seeds that I had. And behind that little jug is the garlic from last year. I'm hoping that they will bloom for me this year so I can save some seed. And this is 3 types of leeks in front of that cold frame: King Richard, Mercurian, and American flag. On the other side, I did 2 cloches of Mizuna and 3 cloches of spinach. I just found this is so easy to do rather than plant them in the jugs and transplant them. Just plant them right where they're going to go and be done. So I've just winter sowed some scarlet peony poppy. These were gorgeous last year, really large blooms on them. So I just scattered them on top of the potting soil in here, and then I put vermiculite on the top, and that should work to set them up for success. And then my last thing is to make sure I label it, because sure as shooting I'll forget. And I like to do it on the outside like that. So here's what I got winter sown in jugs, all flowers. But that felt good to get that job done. I did these about a month and a half earlier last year, but it is what it is. Well, I haven't uncovered this bench yet. It's too early, but it still sits good, and the sun is out, and I got a lot accomplished. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm linking last year's winter sowing video right here because it does go into more depth than I did this time, remember. Sometimes the only thing we harvest is knowledge, and that's okay. Bye for now. We'll see you on the next one. Ooh, Mr. Sun, you are so welcome.